Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And as the days tick down to the launch weekend in a couple of weeks' time, Envoy finally has his say on the state of Vanguard at the present time, but also maybe some updates to the favourites list going into this season. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Tap the channel recently, people. Please do subscribe as well if you have not yet already. First of all, this from the Sledgehammer game side. They finally come out of hiding after the holiday periods, and they might well be back in business. Now, look, let's not get it twisted. Casual play is always going to dominate over competitive, and there's plenty of issues right now with the public matches in Vanguard, I am told. I haven't played them, but I saw Shotty saying that, like, look, I'm not going to play Vanguard pubs because it's an absolute disaster, and I saw some clips coming out from what shipment looks like right now. It doesn't look like the greatest time. So, Sledgehammer are out of hiding. They're probably going to do something over the coming week or so. They talk about here some of the changes they want to make, and as they say, thank you for your patience while we are working behind the scenes. You can expect more frequent updates now that we're back, with more to come this week. And Arcitys kind of comes back with this, well, aBeZy gif in the replies. So, you know, maybe there's something promising that comes out of this, right? We did hear Zuma talking about the possibility of some sort of changes coming to spawns very soon indeed. Hopefully that will be the case, but and then control might actually be playable. But again, many changes still needed in the next couple of weeks. I guess their focus is going to start on the casual stuff. By the time we get any changes, it's going to be like the classic Call of Duty days where an update comes in like 2 days before the event starts. But I guess, well, there's nothing really on the line this event, which obviously is a bad thing, but if anything it has positives, given the fact that this game is in the state that it is in. Now, this also from Crone, I think, frankly, doing a better job than the CDL in promoting this event. I saw a lot of people saying that, like, they didn't really know when this kickoff event actually is. So here it is, 21st to the 23rd of January, couple of weeks' time things kick off, and, well, all 12 teams are there, right, which is a massive selling point, given the fact that no other event of the season is going to have all 12 teams in attendance. The majors only top 8 go to. Same thing with the story with the World Championship. Now, of course, the single elimination bracket. Now, look, I totally agree with the frustrations around this, right? People are saying, look, why is it single elim? Why can't it be double elim? At the same time, I also kind of think, look, it's a meaningless event at the end of the day. There's no money on the line. There's no, there's no points for the entire season. And I completely agree that shouldn't be the case, right? These events at the start of the season, especially already in January, like, these events should actually matter for something. But at the very least, at least given they are doing this whole idea of it's a kickoff event or whatever, and it doesn't mean anything, but still, at least there was a winner this time as there hasn't been before. So yes, it's single elim. Yes, it doesn't really matter all that much, but still, we do get a champion heading into the season, which is better than we had last year. So I guess there's some step in the right direction, and of course, it's coming relatively soon if you guys want to attend. I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining one, no doubt, given, well, the storylines going into this year are pretty good. Unfortunately, though, some of the teams you'll only get to see once, because it's a single elimination tournament. So, I guess we just have to deal with that. But yesterday, we kind of looked at who the favourites should be going into this tournament. This I thought was pretty interesting, the fact that the odds have now shifted somewhat, where, well, effectively making OpTic favourites right now. Now, this tends to be how it is, right, given the fact that OpTic have the most fans, like, more people, say they're going to win, therefore the odds tend to shift in their favour sometimes. But, I saw the OpTic number one here. It was kind of interesting to see, right, the fact that, like, at least, well, some people are suggesting OpTic might be the biggest favourites going into this event, at least right up there with FaZe, even though I think FaZe still number one should make a fair bit of sense. Then, nothing else has really changed here from what we looked at yesterday. Boston are slightly higher, though, and, also, like, Ultra, Thieves, Sublin are still in the same order they were yesterday, which is kind of interesting, frankly, given, well, the state of these teams right now that maybe have been practicing or have not been practicing these last couple of weeks. But, yeah, interesting stuff regardless, but only a couple of weeks until the season actually does begin. So, I guess the season doesn't really begin until February, but, about a month or so's time, but at least we have something to look forward to middle of this month. It's, well, it's been a long time coming, frankly. This also, as Nick Sullivan noticed yesterday, I thought I'd just point out for you guys, we're pretty sure that the Boston Breach is going to be the name of the franchise on the Boston side, but he does a nice search here over at the trademark side, and, well, finds that this has been, well, registered under professional esports, as you can see down here from Oxygen CDL. So, it seems like that is the organisation, of course, Oxygen Esports, that has, well, gone for this Boston Breach branding at December the 16th, which would, of course, make a fair bit of sense in line with what we know about that. So maybe the announcement's coming relatively soon. I don't believe any, any kind of a logo has been spotted as of yet, as it did with OpTic Texas when that was all getting confirmed, but, I guess I will keep our eyes on this over the coming days. This then from Envoy that I spotted a couple of days ago. He was, of course, streaming for the first time in quite some time, and, well, starting 8 here soon, we kind of talked about, right, given the fact that, 8s are, well, actually happening in this game maybe at some point, as they didn't really happen all that much in Cold War, certainly towards the end of the season. But, he certainly had a few words to say on stream a couple of days ago about, well, really the state of Vanguard at the present time, the frustrations with the updates that aren't seeming to happen from Sledgehammer, and, the fact that the squad spawns in this game are the worst squad spawns that have ever been in Call of Duty. There's only been 2 games, including this one, that have had them back in Modern Warfare, of course, was the original, and we're back in business here again in Vanguard. He reckons they were even worse in this game than they were before, and Sledgehammer really hasn't done anything to try and alleviate any of this stuff, given the fact that we've had no update at all that has anything really competitive in mind one bit. But, you know, maybe with Sledgehammer making the return, that might well happen soon, but, well, maybe that's wishful thinking.
What's good with them? Not what's good with the CDL. What's good with the goddamn developers? Oh, got us rocking lame camos, lame game characters. No competitive updates. Goddamn near the worst squad spawns I've ever seen. Like, these squad spawns top MWs to another level, because half the time that shit don't make sense. In MW, I feel like that shit made sense, but I've been seeing some whack ass shit, man. Hey, but listen. I'm here to play. I played the game either way.
How many dishes this guy got, bro?
They're finessing me, like.
East.
This just to kind of follow up with really from aBeZy right on a similar vein. This well, a TikTok that we see here from Shazam. You guys might know Shazam if you followed the OpTic CSGO team back in the day. He's now a competitive Valorant player for Sentinels. And well, as he kind of describes in this tweet, right, they were talking 2 hours after practice. We had a meeting with the right developers who make Valorant, with a lot of the pro players, talked about the game, the meta specifically, certain agents, you know, the maps, the economy, all this type of stuff, guns. Pretty cool how much they care about the competitive scene. We have back and forth discussions as well. So of course, look, at the end of the day, Valorant was built from the ground up as a competitive esports. Call of Duty is just a game that, well, happens to have an esports on the side. And we thought that the esports might have more attention, given, well, the fact that there is a proper franchise league now, but it doesn't really seem like that's the case. And aBeZy's like, look, pretty painful watching Shazam and some of these other pros and other esports talking about the fact that they have regular meetings with the developers, what they should change, like what the balance is like in the game. And of course, well, that's something which really falls down the pecking order. And that's the thing that frustrates me really about the CDL. Like, theoretically, there was going to be benefits of the league. Like, even if the league did meant that we don't get opens, we don't get quite the events that we used to have back in the day, and it's not quite as good maybe to watch as the CWL era. At least the idea with the CDL was there's more focus on competitive play. The game is going to be more competitively balanced. You know, the teams and the players are going to have more, well, impact on exactly how the game is structured, and the fact that we should be getting ranked play and all the team skins and all this stuff. Like, there's actually an incentive for Activision, you would have thought, to care about competitive, where they didn't necessarily have to before. But it seems like we've managed to get the worst of both worlds, at least so far in the CDL's era. Maybe things will change. I'm certainly still trying to remain optimistic. There's also some scrims that were going down last night as well, or at least over the last couple of days. Firstly, this one from the 18 and Crack team. This is well, Exceed, Shawnee, Assault, and Classic up against Los Angeles Thieves. Now, of course, they only play one set of maps right here in the hardpoints, but LA Thieves get beaten 3-1 again. Pretty sure we saw these guys scrim a couple of days ago. It was 4-4, but I'm not really sure what's been going on with Thieves, right? Because we looked at what Envoy had to say a couple of seconds ago. I'm not sure if they've been scrimming so much. I'm pretty sure that it took a while for those guys to get out to LA, where they're now based out of the compound over there, which might not be ideal for them in the online arena that we are still going to be in for part of this season, at least, well, outside of the majors, it seems. So I wonder if that's been affecting their practice at all, but I really haven't seen any scrim results yet from LA Thieves where I think, okay, wow, they're looking pretty good now. But, you know, everything has kind of been either they're getting their trading maps with the team or they're losing a map set right here. Of course, look, it's just scrims, but a couple of these first maps were pretty comfortable, frankly, for this challenger team, especially given LA Thieves are apparently, according to the kind of favourites we looked at a second ago, number 4 favourite for this event going into the Kickoff Classic. Don't really see that being the case on current form, but of course, well, things could very much all change. I think it took them quite some time really to get up and running, because Octane, like, he was getting out there and stuff like this, so I think they might be still a little bit behind the other teams, and maybe if there is a major update that, of course, Envoy is looking for, then, you know, maybe things will turn around to some degree in their favour. This also, Boston was certainly doing some scrimming last night. They played up against Paris 4-3 right here in this one. They played 7 maps. They didn't play the second Tuscan, which I thought was kind of interesting, but yeah, 4-3 in this one. They also played up against Rokkr. That was 4-4. So most teams being particularly competitive right now. I'm not really sure where to put Boston, because they seem to give OpTic a difficult time, but they don't really blow out any other teams, it seems, so far. And London are there and thereabouts. It's good to see we get to see some actual Boston scrims, right, given that most other teams have brought things to a close. But well, as Methods also says right here, 2 days off scrims, so TJ can go to a food truck festival. Thought this was kind of funny, really, like, honestly, that sounds fantastic, by the way. But I mean, yeah, maybe taking 2 days off scrims for whatever reason, or if this is just a reason that Methods, of course, is just coming up with. But, if this is, of course, true, then I'm sure Crimsix is looking at this thinking, okay, this is why TJ's a coaster, right? This guy's just here for the ride. He doesn't really care about winning or losing. He's taking days off. But, of course, it's still a while away to the league officially begins about this time next month, and many changes could still happen to the game before then. Envoy certainly wants it to happen. Pretty sure the community in general wants it to happen. But, whether Sledgehammer can actually deliver in due course is, well, of course, does remain to be seen. This also I wanted to mention just as we close down the video here from Brian Stats. Thought these were kind of some remarkable statistics, frankly. Firstly, this one, the longest tenured pro on an organization. Now, Scump has been with OpTic for 9 years and 6 months, which I guess is just about true, right, in the Black Ops 2 days, right, when he first came into OpTic, pretty much. No, he did leave OpTic, you guys might remember, in the Ghost days, for about, it was, 2 weeks or something. He went to Envy for, and then he came back. So I guess technically, it doesn't matter if you consider that or not. He's still leading the line by a long way. Formal's been on OpTic for over 5 years, or at least was when he was competing. Stainville on Envy for 5 years. Crimsix on OpTic as well. Calm on OpTic. No doubt really there with the whole, the Dynasty era. 4Play, that also known as Skylar Johnson, you guys might know him. Now he's doing a load of things with Drink Control. And Paper Crowns, you guys might know that kind of design agency. He was a player for Envy for a long time. Zoom on FaZe. Theory on Team Caliber. Nature on OpTic. And Jacob on Envy as well, leading the line. But kind of remarkable. Scump's been on OpTic for this long. But no real surprise when you look at the history. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button and tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and as like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.